Welcome back to another holistic aquafarm video. Today is going to be a quick one, very short video. We're going to train some pumpkin vines. You need to train your pumpkin in the way that it should grow. I know there are some of you who would get that reference. Training pumpkin vines is very simple. When the pumpkin reaches a certain size, they will stop growing up and start the vining stage, and they'll put out these runners. The purpose for training your vine is mainly for aesthetic value. It is not going to hamper the growth of your pumpkin. If you don't do it, it's not going to make it grow any better. It really is simply to direct your pumpkin the way you want it to grow and to make harvesting easier. So let me show you here. You're going to train these four vines here, what we're going to be focusing on for this video to train. I want to be able to walk through this part here and continue on the way up. So when I train this vine here, I'm going to train it to run in that direction and this one to run in that direction. So they'll be going in a nice clean row, and I will have all that space there to walk in, to tend to them. And when it's time to harvest, I'll be able to walk in there, harvest the pumpkin, and I'll be fine. And I'm going to be doing the same thing with these guys here. Well, this one is already going in the direction that I want, which is here. So I'm going to come here now. This one is not going where I want. You need to be careful when you're doing this. You don't want to damage your plant, but you are simply taking the vine, the runner, and directing it ever so gently to point the direction that you want it to go. At this stage, it is very easy to do, but again, be gentle with it so that you don't damage your plant. And you take it and you turn it that way. I'm going to come to do this one. Right, this one here, and just direct it so that this one is going to go all the way along here, and so on and so forth. It's going to make harvesting easier, and it's going to look a lot neater as well. When you are turning the pumpkin vines, sometimes you may encounter some difficulty in getting them, in trying to just move the stem of the vine. Some may give some resistance, but if you go lower to the base, sometimes it may be easier. Be gentle, you don't want it broken. And in training the vine, what you are trying to accomplish, you want these here called tendrils. So what you're trying to achieve, when the plant is vining, this is what latches on and helps to anchor and stabilize the plant. So when you are turning it, you actually want to allow these tendrils something to latch onto. So anything that's in its path, it will latch onto it, and that will help stabilize it. So this tendril here will eventually wrap around this twig that is close to it, and it will continue to keep going in that direction, and the tendrils will help keep it that way. So you may encounter that you turn your plant and it does not stay the direction that you turned it. It is because these tendrils have not latched onto anything, or there wasn't anything around for the tendrils to latch onto to keep it in that direction. So you may need to turn it again. Sometimes you turn it, even though they have not anchored onto anything yet, it will stay in the direction you want it to stay. And 2 weeks later, here we are. The vines are running into each other now. They stayed exactly where I wanted them to stay. Here. And this set over here as well. They stayed in the direction that I wanted it to run. So it's a nice path that I can walk through the path. This is the path here. that remains clear, well, relatively clear, because as you can see the weeds have regrown. But the objective was to get the vines to run a nice clean path, and they have. Nice and neat. If you want your pumpkin vines to run in a particular direction, you absolutely must turn them in that direction before they get this big. If you wait this long to try and turn the pumpkin vines, you will have some difficulty, because when they get bigger they tend to put out secondary roots, such as this here. This is a secondary root here. Now if I attempted to move this now, I would encounter difficulty because that root has anchored itself in the ground. And I would have to, you see that? I'd actually have to pull it out. Secondary root here. There's another one here. So if you want to train your pumpkin, you have to do it before it is too late. This is what I was talking about, the tendrils. Look at this. This tendril started there to anchor itself on this weed. Look at that. Look at that. It is absolutely amazing, these plants. Before you leave, don't forget to hit the nice, neat like button below the screen, and we'll be around for our next one. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is a pumpkin about to come out here, you know.